hello. Waiting for me to appear. Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Pat Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. Hello. Oh, Wavy says, hate to be the one that says it, but 1K is on deck. Is that tomorrow? Hey, Dan Jet. Shashi's 900 here for the name that cannot be named. I guess we can name it now because this is a Tesla live stream. So I guess we sort of have to say Tesla in the Tesla live stream. I'm just trying to avoid it in any other one because whenever you say Tesla, you get demonetized. And then they review it 4 days later. But you've heard that before. By the way, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing the bell, and hitting the like or dislike button, whatever your little heart desires. So, interesting day today in Tesla, selling down to the 50-period exponential, which is now flattening out. Now, Wavy, you didn't answer my question yet. You didn't answer my question, Wavy. Is that tomorrow for 1K on deck? If we break below today's low, free Mike. Free Brittany. Well, she's been freed now, hasn't she? She's been freed. The conservatorship's been dissolved, so now it should be free Mike. Yes, stop the demonetizing. So hopefully tomorrow is an important day. Be careful. Well, we have non-farm payrolls. Keep in mind, non-farm payrolls coming out 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. A lot's going to be riding off of that. I'm actually leaning towards a bullish bounce, but it has to still prove itself. If you want to know what I'm watching for, watch the market overview live stream on demand now. I'm actually also watching for a potential bullish bounce with Tesla. Now, I will agree with Wavy. If we break below today's low with momentum, then I will key off the 1,000 mark easily. And we break below that because we're in this clear path, and this was the last little line in the sand before 1,000. But this put in a decent, at least a decent attempt at a short-term bottom. We do have a potential 4-hour buy. You see, again, two tops, not a double top. There's no double top pattern here. We don't have one. And on the 15-minute, you can see it's just a horizontal channel. But I was watching for an aggressive 4-hour buy on if this bar closed above the high of this morning, coming in at 1086. So, and that's valid for a couple more bars only. But if we do start getting a massive rally, and this is only, here's how I'd play this. Because if we start getting a massive rally in the morning, especially if the NASDAQ does rally, and we've had all the Tesla pumpers out in force today repeatedly saying why Tesla is the best and ultimate buy at this point. You'd have to be silly and stupid not to own it. I don't agree with the fundamental analysis they're putting forth, but you did have all the pumpers out today. Now, that being said, you start getting above 2 days. First, my little area, let me go over this. My play for tomorrow. I'm actually going to make my bullish line in the sand right here, right around this 1076 area. We start getting above that. We're above the daily rotation zone. We still have the gap to fully fill over here. We start getting above that with momentum. Then I'm looking for the aggressive buy side to front run a potential 4-hour close. What that would mean is as long as we are holding above this line, it is because we're looking for the close above there. Now it gets a little tricky, and what you don't want to see is if it starts breaking down, especially below about this 1056 level, even if you're trying to play for that thing, it's again, can't give financial advice. This is just an area that if we went up here, you're trying to do an aggressive long to get in before the 4-hour close, and you rolled back down and you got a shorter term close, like even a 5-minute below this 1056 level, you're into this little clear path move a little down there. That would be all bets off. Ken asks, red or green candle. If you're waiting for the 4-hour close, it would have to be you'd want a green candle. So if it gapped up and then you close back down here, let's say it gapped up in the morning, then it traded back down, you closed above this high with a red candle, would not touch it. Okay? Just would not touch it. The aggressive move is to watch for it to break out, especially above this little 15-minute shelf in the morning. And if you got momentum, then you just, and it starts rallying, then I just get my stop to break even as fast as possible. And then if it did not close, or if it, you know, did not close above that 4 hour, let's say you hypothetically got long at this 1060, 1076 area, and then you moved it to break even, it didn't stop you at a break even, but then it didn't close above this 4 hour, it would be, I would not carry it through the weekend. And remember, you have the weekend. Now, while we might see some volatility again, we have non-farm payrolls. So that's a very aggressive play. The conservative play is to wait. However, the interesting thing is if you do the 4 hour close, your stop has to be below this 4 hour low today. And if it closed way up here, my reward to risk would be horrible. All right, because you have this little upside to retest the high area, but I mean, you could be at nearly a 1-to-1 reward to risk with a maximum run up there. So I wouldn't be touching it then. So that's the aggressive play. Sorry, I meant what's there, 1086 or 1080 4 hour candle. The 4 hour candle high is 1086 exactly. So you need a close above 1086. Okay, and also on the aggressive one, if you're watching the NAS and the NAS is going down and Tesla's going up, I'm not touching it either because then it's going upstream. So that's the aggressive play. The safe play is to wait for the 4 hour close, but then you have to assess your reward to risk, and if it was off, it would not be a play. The only other upside of this is you start going into a clear path move with the first stopping area right around 1134. Although I have the harmonics on backwards, the first area I would pay attention to is the 50% of this down move, which is 1114. And of course, I will not ignore the 1,000 number, but there was not a lot of stopping there before. And if you see here, this little resistance area is right around that 50% area now in this downdraft. So that's definitely an area to move up a stop. And this is an aggressive play. So, hope that answers your question. Now to the downside. Again, we start breaking below about 1056 area. I'm then watching down to about the 1034, and then the lows at, what were the exact lows today? At 1040. Why does it have it? Why does it have low? Oh, sorry, 10. I was on the wrong part. 1020. That's why I was like 1020.57. Then below that, I'm targeting 1001 to about 995. I'll fine tune that with some harmonics. Actually, we can do some little reverse harmonics in here to give us some intermediate levels. These will be minor intermediate levels. So, and we don't have a lot of stuff lining up there, but you have a little cluster here, then I go to 997, then I'd be at 983, then 973, and I try to shift these to forward harmonics if we broke this 1020 area. Let's see what else. Let's see. I don't think there's any. So that's your bullish and bearish case. And again, it's all going to be, I'm going to start watching the overall broad market. And as I went through a market overview, I'm going to be watching the yields, the 2 years and 10-year yields going in after non-farm payrolls. If the yields start pulling back and we get a bid in the S&P and NASDAQ, then we have that moving up. And if you get some bullish action in Tesla, especially off the open, that's your little play to the upside. So we might have, the question is with the thumbnail that's up there, do we have a short-term bottom? We may have it needs confirmation tomorrow. And that's just a short-term trading bottom. That's because we don't have a daily, there was no daily buy signal. The last daily buy signal was back on December 21st. With this, we do not have a potential daily buy signal. So now if it broke back down and we got that wavy 1K tomorrow, we might have a daily buy signal, but that would then have to rotate back up. That's about it, I think. Not seeing anything else in the comments. Hope I got the questions answered. By the way, it looks like some things are trying to bounce in our EV list. Rivian. Oh, I wanted to go through one more thing in Tesla. By the way, we had this little bottoming pattern here. You can see it really well in the 1 minute. And it asked, I keep getting, where is it? Where is it? This. We had a nice little, so you had a divergence down here, see lower low here. Then this actually formed a double bottom pattern here, right here, and then we took off. And people ask, should I take this? It was an aggressive play, and I said in Discord, it's for the very nimble. When you see something on a 1 or 5 minute like this, where's my pattern again? There it is. When you see, it's easy to spot on the 5 minute. When you see a play like this, I said it's for the nimble. Why? Because this is a 5 minute pattern. Okay, it's not something to back up the truck and go for a daily big buy. All right, this is a very nimble play that you have to grab this double and then aggressively move up your stops, and then you've had very little follow through, after you hit the targets and just stalled out with the sideways price action. So yes, this was a valid play. You'd have to actually play it on nearly the 1 minute or 3 minute chart, but it's not something that's there for people who are longer term traders to even bother looking at. You're going to want to wait for those 4 hours or dailies, or especially the weekly buy signals. Now, if you're an active intraday trader, you can play something like that, and it's aggressive because it's also, we had some momentum bars to the downside, so that could have been an area that, all right, if that triggers, I'm out of my shorts. And not necessarily going long. The better play would be off this 4 hour play going into tomorrow. Just want to clarify that. Rivian, trying to put a bottom in here, but still there's nothing to do with Rivian. It's spiking through to harmonics, putting in another key low, but again, trying to rally. I'm seeing a lot of other stuff. We have the GME and AMC going, people are going nuts at that. You have the NFT stuff. I was reading the newsfeed between things with GME is going to do NFT stuff. It's just going to be another attempted little mini short squeeze, and then that will die out quickly. And I think there's just people trying to aggressively buy the dip with a potential bottoming in the NASDAQ. That's why even if we do get a bounce with like Tesla bouncing the NASDAQ tomorrow, I'm not going super bullish long term. It's aggressively move up the stops. It's not something to try to say, okay, we've got a yearly bottom type of thing. Lucid, little bounce also, but did not close below this key 35.46. So I'm still watching for a close below that. The only way I'd start looking at this is if it could get above about 41. NIO, by the way, came up here on the double, hit the first target, could not get the second one, and now that is over. So that was it was a reduced stop failed double. That would have had to have been traded on a shorter time frame. It would have to have been traded on this little pullback on the 4 hour, but that was even hard to get into. But NIO now forming a triple. So watching for a continued move back down. XPEV, still nothing going on unless we get above this 48 level, but nothing really going on there. Let's see. I did arrive here, and you confirmed that the bottom pattern at 9:30 was a decent, albeit aggressive entry for an intraday trade. That was not on a 1 hour. That was actually on a 5 and a 1 minute. There's a 4 hour trade. You came in late. You might want to watch the replay. I sort of reviewed what I'm watching for with a 4 hour aggressive close, but how you probably need to play it early on a break above this 1076 area with a tight stop, at least a stop initially below 1056, and then ratchet up quickly. And if we're not going to close above that high, it's over. And if the NASDAQ's breaking down, you don't want to touch it. So it's just trying to front run a very aggressive play. But again, that's not for your, if you're sitting here making one trade a day and trying to catch a major term bottom, that's probably not the play for you. I'd wait for a daily setup if you're in it for longer term. Thanks, Dave, and thanks for tuning in. Even late is better than never. I'm not seeing any more questions, so I'm going to call it a day. I'll try to jump in Discord a little earlier tomorrow with after non-farm payroll to see what's going on with the markets and see. But again, don't get, also if this thing shoots up pre-market, let's say we have a strong European rally session in the NASDAQ and this thing's going to set to open at 11:10 or, don't chase it pre-market because it's so thin. I would not try to jump on this 4-hour trade possibility pre-market. If it goes, it goes. You'll then have to watch for a pullback or something else. Don't be ever afraid of missing a trade. Missing a trade is a break-even trade. Okay, there'll always be another trade. And especially if Wavy's right, who says 1K is on deck, then we probably get a daily setup. So we shall see. I will talk to everyone later. Have a great evening, and I'll see you in Discord tomorrow morning. Bye for now.